And away we go, fellas. Welcome to another episode of the Gettin Salty Experience podcast. It's the only podcast in the whole wide world that brings the Firehouse Kitchen Table to you. As always, joined by my lifelong buddy, Lieutenant Ruffy.
What's up?
We got producer Pete.
Shalom.
There he goes. And Pete, tell him what we're brought to you by.
Well, you guys all know the deal by now, but if you don't, we're brought to you by www.gettinsaltyapparel.com, guys, where you can find all kinds of cool stuff like this t-shirt, the Bronx Bend t-shirt, that Salty Dog t-shirt that Kev's wearing there, the hat that Lou's wearing, all kinds of wonderful things. I think we got cigar cutters, we got lighters coming in soon. Guys, go support us. If you want to support the show, head on over to gettinsaltyapparel.com and get yourself something nice. Thank you.
And while you're at it, Pete, why don't you tell the brothers what the word of the day is?
Oh, this is a good one.
We got a good one.
The word of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is Mo.
Woo!
Hey!
What's up, Mo?
Somebody slid that one in, huh?
All right, guys. So just so you think that we're not biased and we always have FDNY guys on, we went a little further west out to Chicago. We got a real salty dog for you guys tonight. All the way out in Chicago, we got Chief Mike Timothy. Woo!
Nice.
Let me pull my boots up. Hold on.
I think this is going to be much like the Chief Bro show, bro. It's very similar.
Come on now.
Come on now.
Chief Bro. Well, Chief, I'm going to call you Chief Mike. Chief Mike Timothy is too long.
Mike.
Welcome to the show. So you got on way back in 1980, so they tell me.
Yeah.
You were original Chicago native. You sound like it. Not that you don't have any.
Yeah, born and raised Chicago.
Mm-hmm. The usual questions: father a fireman, your uncle. What made you want to be a fireman?
My father was a truck driver. My uncle, I had a few uncles that were coppers.
Yeah.
So the obvious profession for me was either a cop or a fireman.
Plus, you're Irish, so they were like, Irish, what are you going to do?
I used to work at a dairy when I was 14 and 15. My uncle ran a dairy at 15th and Peoria, Metamore Dairy, and we used to load the trucks, but he used to send me over to the firehouse, which was Engine 18 on Roosevelt, and I used to drop off milk, eggs, and all kind of shit for the firemen. So I kind of got introduced then.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it was an option, but I think the copper was the first thing. And then my mom said, you're not going to be a cop, so you might as well look the other way.
All right, so they didn't have anything like volleys out by you, so you never got to be a volley or work in a firehouse before that, right? Not in Chicago, anyway.
What was that, Kev?
They didn't have like volley houses or
volunteer, Mike. Volunteer.
Oh, not in Chicago, no.
You lived in Chicago itself?
I was I was in the city, right outside of downtown in a little Italian neighborhood.
City Irish guy.
Yeah, my mom was Italian, my dad was Irish, so.
So you got on in 1980. How long is the academy in Chicago?
The academy is 9 months, but this was a little something. This was right after the strike.
Mm-hmm.
They had a fireman strike in 80 for a contract, so it was kind of different. After that, they had a class that went in, was called the 250 group for manpower, and I was in that group.
So you get out and you go to engine. Whatever.
Well, I was detailed for a short time to truck 22 in Uptown. I didn't put that on there because I wasn't assigned there.
How long were you in there then when you got out?
It was a couple of months. We stood there a couple of months until they can do a reorganization.
Right. And then you went to engine 43. Right. Busy house, engine 43?
Yeah, it was busy there. It was the best thing that ever happened to me, them sending me there. Luck of the draw there.
In what way? The fact that they were busy or there was good guys there?
Yeah, they went to a few fires and just the guys, just the people that I met there. You know, the bosses were good. It was a good battalion. It was the old 4th Battalion, and it was just a good group of guys there.
Senior guys when you got there, or was it?
On my shift, we had a young shift. Our senior guy had about three years on the job.
Whoa!
Oh,
yeah. Well, because of the reorganization, everybody they left. So there was 4 of us with a year on and 1 with 3 years on. And our front seat My lieutenant had about 16 years on, and my engineer was close to 15, 16 also. But we had an excellent front seat.
Right. So you guys.
So you work with the same guys all the time too? You work with the same every day. You work with the same guys.
Oh yeah, there's 3 shifts. So I was on the first shift. We had the same guys all the time, and even our ambulance crew, we had the same guys all the time. So
what they have, like A, B, and C shift is what they have, like A, B, C shift. So you work.
No, they had a first, second, and third shift.
Oh, okay, first, second, and third.
And one of the guys in the chat is asking if Hank was your mentor.
Hank Linneman. He was on the second shift, and he lived right next door to the firehouse.
What a commute!
Him and his brother Rock. I always told Hank, "Don't be late."
Rock?
Rocco?
Hey, Rocco!
Rocco! His brother Rock. They call him Rock. He wasn't Italian. Their last name was Linneman, and he was the driver of Truck 28. He was a Marine. He was a barrel-chested, big fucking guy, and he didn't take no shit.
Nice.
And his brother Hank was the opposite. He was a thin guy, but just a nice guy.
Nice.
And, they lived right next door to the firehouse.
That's a good, like Kevin was saying, you wake up like 2 minutes before you have to go to work.
But then there's that other side of it too, right? Where you're constantly in the house all the time.
Yeah, probably over there all the time, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Well, when he was working, I mean, it was a chance to get out of. He didn't want to go back in the house, you know.
Yeah.
So,
gotcha.
But you spent 9 years in that house. That's a pretty long time. Spend an engine.
It was a long time, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a single house with an engine, I guess.
Single engine. Well, they used to have back in the day. They had Squad 6 in there. That was way back. Squad 6 responded to that Our Lady Angels fire out of there.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
In the 50s.
We just covered that in a history show. That's amazing.
And then they had a double. They had an engine. They had 51 in there. They took that engine from the south side and doubled them up. And anytime they doubled the house up with 2 engines, one of them was going out of service. Usually the one that they put in. So 51.
What do you mean by that, Mike? What does that mean? Oh, you mean out, like disbanded?
Disbanded.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Whenever they doubled engines up, one of them was going out of service, and it was usually the one who came later.
Right.
So when 51 went out, then they put ambulance 3 in there.
So you got 3 shifts. How do the officers break it up? Do you have a captain and 2 lieutenants, or how does that work?
Yeah, we got a captain and two lieutenants. So I was on the first shift with a lieutenant. Second shift had a lieutenant, and our captain shift was the third shift.
Do you guys work 24s? Or
I was going to say, can you do mutuals across and all that stuff too?
You could trade. Yeah, there was a lot of trading going on. We did 24s, all 48s, and then we had daily days. You know, every 4 days you get a daily day.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's like a Chinese 72.
Yeah, it was probably like that. Yep, the chart.
They call them Kelly days.
Kelly days. Yeah. Same thing. So.
Yeah. So 9 years, and then you go to, what makes you go to engine 18? You become an engineer or a chauffeur?
Well, I got promoted to engineer. I didn't want to take it, but my lieutenant said, listen, you never turn down a promotion. So,
right. So you can't stay you couldn't stay in 43 and become a chauffeur like we do?
No, they already had engineers there. You have to put in. First, there's got to be a vacancy, and then you have to put in, and then it goes on your seniority.
Right.
So I got promoted engineer, and I started floating, and eventually I got engine 18. So ironically, that was my old neighborhood. That responded to my old neighborhood. So,
so you knew the streets in and out where you were driving.
I knew the streets, but I did it for a secondary reason, so I could bring my grandmother the newspaper. You know? So that was one of my stops. I'd bring her some soup and a newspaper. I used to tell the captain, we got to take a ride. And
Coobs used to do that all the time.
We'd go do my stuff in the morning, and then I was done.
Yeah, Kevin. He lived in the neighborhood with this when he was a squad chauffeur.
What kind of work did you catch over there? Mainly, was it private dwellings? Like what kind of stuff was going on over there?
At 43?
Yep.
A lot of frame buildings. It was a mixture. A lot of frame buildings, though. We had a lot of frame fires. And then we had some brick 2 flats and brick 3 flats, and then we had some big what you guys call tenements, I guess.
Right.
Yep.
We had 12 flats, you know, with 12 apartments in there, and some 24 flats.
So mostly stuff like this is
that's a 2 flat.
Right. Right.
You know, 2 flat with a basement. So
Gotcha.
we had a lot of these on the west side.
So you were in 43 is in what? District 1, right? You guys break it up in districts.
That was District 2.
Oh, 43 was District 2?
Yeah.
Oh, I got my shit all wrong over
Mike,
here.
didn't you? Did you make you told me, I remember telling me you made a grab your first year on the job. Was that right or no?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I was lucky enough to grab a couple of kids out of a fire my first year.
On the engine? Like, did you you were on the
43.
line? Or?
No, you don't grab a kid on the line.
Yeah, so how did that work out? How did that happen?
I was on a hydrant that day, which kind of sucked because nobody wanted to be on the hydrant.
Right, nobody wants to be outside.
Because you didn't get into the building until a little bit later, you know. But
right.
I mean, it's an important job. So I happened to be on a hydrant. It was December 23rd. It was about 10:30 in the morning. We get a spill over on Kedzie Avenue and pull up. It was a 12 flat corner building, and we had a basement fire. So I jump off. They started leading out. My engineer pulled around the corner onto Albany, and so I headed down to the hydrant, which was just past the alley. It was a kind of a goofy street because it went north and south, and then it angled a little bit. So they had an extra hydrant right by the alley. Mm-hmm. So I took that hydrant. He pulled around. We hooked up everything, you know, send the water. Coming back, I was in the back of the building already. So I said, let me go see if I can get something done here. But I only had a hydrant wrench in my hand. So I go over, the smoke is pumping out. And in the back, you didn't have to go downstairs to get to the basement. It was ground level in the back. So you can see they had a heavy wooden door with the metal grates on it. Metal grates on the windows, you know, for security reasons, obviously. And I tried to get in this door, and I got it open about 2 inches, and it wouldn't budge anymore. And I'm mule kicking it, trying to get in this place. It was locked up tighter than a drum. Anyway, make a long story short, I go back around, I dump the hydrant wrench, and I make sure there's no kinks in the line, follow the line down into the basement. There was like 4 apartments. So everybody's in the fire apartment, and you couldn't get another guy in there. So I said, let me go see if I could find this door that I wanted to force open. I only got it open about 2 inches. So I'm crawling through there, and I'm crawling down there. It's kind of shitty, and I could see the light coming. So I said, I'm crawling for the light, and I crawl over something. And it feels like a body, like a little kid. I kept going. I wanted to get to that door and open it. So I finally make the door, and I'm trying to pull the door open. It's not coming. So I shut the door, and I'm feeling around the bottom of the door. There's another kid that was
at the bottom of the door. Holy shit.
Was stuck under the bottom of the door. That's why I couldn't get the door open. So I pulled that kid out, and I opened the door, and then it started lifting about 2 feet. Then I could see I had 3 kids.
Wow.
I had 2 little girls and looked like a teenager. So I couldn't even yell because I was taking a trimming. But once I got the door open, I brought one little girl out, put her down on the cement. I came back in. I got the other little girl, put her on the cement. By this time, I'm yelling, you know, help! I'm trying to get some guys to come. And the second engine, which was 91, they came down from the second floor. I don't know what they were doing up there, anyway. And I said, "Come on, I need help. I got a kid in here." So I grab him. Big kid. He was a big kid, but it turned out he was only 13. So we carried him out. We laid him down. They start doing CPR on these kids and everything. And then we got the ambulances back there and everything, and they transport him to the hospital. Finished up with the fire and everything, and went back to quarters, you know. And got a report on the kids. They were critical.
Wow, that's great, man. And
the next day, which was Christmas Eve, you know, I'm at the bar having a few drinks and stuff, and on the TV comes the fire because one of the little girls died.
Shit.
Yeah. So
that's rough.
Oh, that was a bad time.
But
The other two made
lived,
it though.
right?
2 of them made it, and the one little girl died. She was 4.
Brutal.
Hey, but you know what? They might not have all made it if you didn't pull them out.
Yeah, that's
Right? All 3 of them might have been on the news that night, brother.
Well, listen, you do what you got to do, and
yeah, it's luck of the draw, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it was luck that you even, like you said, if that door would have popped open, that's a couple of minutes there that might have changed things. But it's just how it is, man. It's
make a rescue, you got to be lucky.
Yeah, you got to be lucky.
There's right place at the right time.
There's nobody good. You got to be lucky. I'm going to tell you. And an old timer always told me this. I'd rather be lucky than good, kid.
He ain't lying.
And he wasn't lying.
Shit,
but engine guys don't make too many grabs.
No.
Especially that first year, for God's sakes. That's great.
That first year, you're shitting in your pants. I was 23 years old, and it was kind of crazy times, and I was just happy to be there.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, kind of after that, you were a little bit more accepted.
Did it freak you out a little bit when you heard that little girl died, or did you just continue on? Like, how did you deal with that as a first-year firefighter?
Oh, that fucked me up. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. No doubt.
I'll tell you, Christmases weren't the same for a couple of years.
Yeah, right. Because it happened so close. I had the same type of a job where kids died. A couple of days after Christmas.
So, I got to tell you this story now. This happened about 5 years ago. This is pertaining to this because this freaked me out. This other fireman calls me up, this kid, Brian. He says, "Hey, Mike," he says, "I got to talk to you." I said, "What's up?" He says, "I'm at truck 56 with a candidate, which you guys call a probie, a female candidate. And she's telling me that 30-something years ago, you rescued her aunt and uncle."
Oh, my God.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's incredible.
I was like fucking shocked. I said, "She's a fireman?" And he says, "Yeah." She goes, "Can I give her your number?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely." And so she calls me.
Wow.
Oh, my God. You talk about a heavy, whew.
Yeah. That's some good.
That's good vibes, though, man. That's great vibes. Like you
went from 1980 to fucking.
Holy shit, 2000 and what?
I'm like, man, I was fucking totally freaked out on that.
How did she know it was you? How did she know?
Well, she knew my name from the paper.
Right.
It was a write up in the newspaper and stuff, I guess, and. So when she got to be a fireman, she was sitting talking to the officer and said, "Hey, you know this guy Mike Timothy?" And he goes, "Yeah, I know. He's working today."
Wow.
So he says, then she tells him the story, and he's like, "Holy shit!" Then he calls me, and he goes, "I got a good one.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. Yeah, every time you hear that type of story, it's good.
Did she call you? Did you get to talk to her?
She called me.
What did she say? What's the first thing she said to you?
Oh, she wanted to give me a hug. She wanted to give me a hug, and she's a nice kid.
Wow, that's an amazing story, man.
Is she on the job now, Chief?
She's on the job now. Yeah.
Wow.
And she told me that her aunt, which was one of the little girls, wanted to meet me. And
oh my God, that's
we were going to set up a meeting. But I guess she got cold feet. So I said, "Hey, don't press her. There's no." She'll do it on her own terms.
Yeah, but like we were just saying, the fact that now you kind of get a look into her life, like she's made a life. A girl that you saved and a boy that you saved have made a life, and you probably influenced that woman to get on the job. You know what I mean? Somehow in a crazy way, man. Maybe.
It would have been nice to meet her, but maybe I'll do it in the future when I don't know. She got to warm up. The young girl fireman said that. Yeah, she's a little nervous. I said, "Hey, just leave her alone. Just let her go."
Yeah, let her do her job.
Who knows? Maybe in the future we'll get to meet.
That's a great story, man.
Especially after she gets a little salty after a few years, right? Then she'll be over it probably.
She might be on the program.
Yeah.
Come on now. I haven't heard Mo.
Oh, Mo.
Hey, Mo.
Okay, there we go.
Cheers, boys.
Now we're warming
Cheers.
up. Salute.
What are you drinking there, Chief? What do you got?
I got a Bud Light.
Nice. All right.
Hey, there you go. Nice.
Oh, what kind of koozie is that? We're gonna have to send
Yeah,
that
we'll
man
send
some
him.
good,
We'll send him something.
some
We'll
good
get him
apparel
something
there,
later.
bro.
We'll get him
That's
something.
from a fireman's spring break in Fort Myers.
Nah, I'll give you something better than that.
We got better stuff than that.
Nice.
I would have wrapped the sock around it, Kevin. I didn't. Who gives a shit?
Good point.
So Chief, one of the reoccurring themes on this show is that it don't matter where you're from. It's if you're a firefighter, you know, everyone's doing the same job, protecting life and property, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I mean, like, I guess, I'm curious, like, what you may think of the FDNY as compared to like the Chicago FD.
You know what? Here, I'll tell you something. When I first came on the job, and I got to this place, we went to a few fires. I thought we were the only busy company in the city. I'm like, man, this is great. I'm going to fires and everything. Then I started listening to the radio, and I'm like, hearing all these other companies having fires. I go, where the fuck are they? You know, it's like I had to get educated. You know what I mean? So then you find out there's busy areas all over the fucking city.
Yeah.
And just like we go to fires here, you guys go to fires. They go to fires in Cleveland. They go to that.
Of course. There's fires everywhere.
They got a little suburb outside of Chicago called Gary, Indiana. They go to fires every day.
Gary.
You know? So
You know what's so funny though? No matter where we talk to, whatever fireman from whatever state, there's so many things that remain the same. The jab.
Yeah, the jab. Fireman. Hey, Chief, what do you think about the squad? The squads.
You're pulling me in here.
Not that we talked about this in the pre-show, not at all.
Let me preface this saying I had a lot of friends on the squad, and I have a lot of friends on the squad now. But there's an old saying that I'd rather have a sister in a whorehouse than a brother on the squad.
Because
You know
what else did you say in the pre-show? Because why?
It wasn't my cup of tea, the squad, because they were always getting there late and leaving early. And, you know, I like to get there first and leave last.
I got you.
So
I got you.
Yeah, but hey, much needed. I mean, there's times
Absolutely.
when I was on the radio yodeling for him. Hey, kick it in the ass. Let's go. I need some more guys.
Right, exactly.
You know, I don't want to pull a box, so wait for the squad. Hurry up in here, Mo. We gotta get some shit.
Hello, Mo.
Oh! Caught me in the middle of a pour. Jeez.
Hey, that was a good word you picked. Who picked that word, Louis?
You know it.
Come on,
Yeah, man.
Nice.
What was that? Ask Mike about being in the command van. Mitch wants to know about being in the command van.
Oh, Mitch. Mitch he used to be one of my captains. He's a battalion chief now. He's a good man. The command van sucks.
Don't hold back. I'll tell you what I feel.
Just
Don't
tell us the
sugarcoat
truth.
it.
He said it's your favorite assignment.
Not a chance. I used to go in there, especially at night. I forget my glasses, and you had to do this stupid board, you know, with these silly fucking mottos and shit.
Oh, yeah. We'll tell you where everybody is.
I would go in there and tell the fireman who ran the van, I go, "You're on the board, I'm on the radio." He goes, "No, I'm on the radio." I go, "Not today, you're not. You're on the fucking board. I'm on the radio." I can't see the board anyway. You know, I didn't have any glasses.
That's freaking great. That's great.
The command van you didn't want to be in because you were just watching the fire. You know.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You're in the street making sure where everybody's at and
It
whatever.
wasn't a fun place to be. Again, necessary for guys that wanted to go in the van.
Right.
That's what we say all the time. Eat for every ass, bro.
Right. Hey, there's got to be guys on slow companies too. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
You know who we got in the chat, boys?
It's Tony Buckrup.
Tony fucking Buckrup. What's up, Tony?
Gary.
Tony from Gary, Indiana. Tony Buckrup from Gary, Indiana.
The guy from Gary?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
Gary.
So 91.
That was an old joke. I was with an old girlfriend once, and we were in a car kissing, and she goes, kiss me where it smells. So I started the car if I drove to Gary. Oh,
Nice. I like it.
Oh, that's freaking great. I
I
love
feel
it.
like I'm in a bar.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm in my house.
It's better
That's
than
good
a
stuff.
bar.
So then you study for lieutenant. Now you get promoted in '91.
Yeah, 91.
Yeah. What made you want to take the officer route? You
What do you mean? Fuck.
Well, you know,
I wanted to tell people what to do instead of getting told what to do.
There you go.
Come on, Kevin.
There you go.
You
So
know,
you went-
I looked around sometimes at some of the people with white shirts, and I said, "What the fuck?
F is going
How
on.
did they get a white shirt?"
You had a good Saturday. That's how we got a good.
That's it, a good Saturday.
Yeah, well, sometimes you need that, huh?
So you're bouncing around. You call it district relief. That means you're bouncing around from '91 to '93.
Yeah, I was a floater. Went to house, you know.
Yeah. Any
I
house?
had a pretty good route.
Any house that you really liked? That you
I had a
think
pretty
might-
good route. I had a good route. I went to 43. I went to 44, truck 36, truck 28. So, and then I bounced around other places too.
Uh-huh. You prefer to be in the engine or the truck? What do you like better?
Oh, if I had my preference going to a fire, I'd be on an engine.
I figured that with him.
But if I'll go to a fire in a taxi cab as long as I go.
Right.
But I'd rather be on the line than anything else. So
Yeah,
True
huh?
engine man.
That's yeah, he's a
Engine
true
puts the
engine guy.
fire out, baby. Engine puts the fire out. You know what I'm
Listen.
saying?
everybody else is a helper.
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
Oh,
I hate to say it. You know, if you're not
He ain't
pulling
lying.
hose, if you're not pulling hose, get the fuck out of the way.
You're pulling something.
That might be a shirt, bro. After the engine, everybody else is just a helper. That's it.
Write that one down, Kev.
I'm writing that down. We're gonna use that. We'll send you. Everyone else is a helper. So you never got a spot, and then you got promoted to captain in '93,
93, yeah, got promoted.
and then you got a spot in truck 4.
Yeah, well, they were assigning captains back then, and
Right.
some of them were not so nice spots. So I said, I'm going to pick my poison, and I looked on the vacancy, and there was no good engines. So I picked truck 4. It was in Chinatown. Wasn't a bad spot. It was a nice spot. Mostly project work there.
Oh, is that right? Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was all
Yeah,
project
it's different.
work.
That's different work there. Yeah.
And I mean, not the nice projects,
The
not
crappy
the
ones.
nice projects.
Wait,
Yep.
the nice ones?
There are nice ones.
There
What
are
those?
nice ones.
Well,
There's
there
a
are
couple.
nice ones. They're called high rises.
Problem with Chinatown is all the Chinese down there. You know what I mean?
Oh my
We were
God.
right on the main strip in Chinatown, and believe me, Chinese people don't call the fire department for nothing.
No, it's embarrassment
Really?
for them. Yep.
The only time they called us, we had a fire in a restaurant, and I'm telling you, it was a basement fire too. So I'm down there, and it's pitch black, smoky, and this stuff hit me in the head and it's bouncing off my head, and I'm going, "Where the fuck? Where am I?" You know, I'm trying to get lower, and this stuff still hit me in the head. And after everything cleared, the smoke cleared,
I was in there.
they got all their animals hanging in the basement.
Oh my God.
Fucking turtles and everything. I'm going,
They were sitting you in the head.
and they got here's 3 Chinamen. They must have used an Ansel because they were all white.
Oh my
So I'm
God.
sure they were down there trying to hit this shit and put it out, but they just couldn't.
Yeah.
so they had to call us, you know?
Oh, man.
They
Well,
always,
yeah,
they
I'm
always
sure
have
they.
that.
Hey, I'm sure they took the turtles in the bank and washed them
Yeah,
off.
washed them off. Exactly.
Oh my God.
But, so
No, but that's
don't-
big in the Asian community. They don't call the fire department. It's almost like an embarrassment for them. Like they don't do it.
we hardly had any work in the Chinese area. None.
Yep. Here comes. I know it's coming. Here comes some Asian.
Yeah, it's
jokes.
already. You got already
I
got
know,
a couple,
I know
Oh,
it's coming.
couple agent jokes already
Yeah.
there, Coop.
Yeah,
All of our work was project. You know?
project work.
Yeah.
Not a big
But
project work.
I'll tell you one incident when I was in trial. I think it was in 1995, my last year there. We had a hot spell. We had a 3-day hot spell. where it started off at 97, went to 98, was 104 degrees.
Mhm.
And over 700 people died in a 3-day stretch.
Wow.
And in the projects, when you went into the projects, if it was 104 outside, it was 140 inside. It was like an oven in there. And we would get, we had 20-something runs that day, and we had like about 16 dead people.
Holy shit.
But you can smell them when you're pulling up. And it's 104 degrees, so all the guys got T-shirts on. And I pull up, we got another one. So, all the guys are like this.
Oh, my gosh.
Fuck, you got to go in the projects, and it stunk like shit. And now we got to wait for an ambulance to come to pronounce this person dead.
Right.
So,
and they must have been running all over the place because they had so many.
Out of control.
Yeah, that thing's like a big pizza oven. It's all concrete, right? That's what it is.
What it is, an oven. So
yeah.
Sometimes we waited 10 minutes, sometimes we waited 20 minutes, sometimes we waited 45 minutes for an ambo to come.
Oof.
We all walked back outside because you're not going to stand in there because that shit just permeated you. It just stunk.
It
got on you. Yeah,
And,
The guys in the chat are asking if they piss in the elevators in Chicago too.
No.
You kidding me? They piss and shit in them elevators.
Oh my God, Jesus!
You wouldn't believe it if you didn't.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, no.
Always
It's
very
like
Vicks,
it's
right?
like a freak. It's like another world, really.
You tell people people are shitting in the elevator, like what? I'm like,
That'll-
yeah. It's like you don't even think about it. After a while, you don't even think about it, right? I mean, you don't even
They
think
wouldn't
about it.
believe it.
How about the fact that nobody's around up until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then there's people up from
Everywhere.
3 o'clock.
All
You're
night
gonna
long.
run to
All night.
you're gonna run to the projects. You see a little girl skipping rope at like 3 in the morning, like that's normal over
See
there.
little kids walking around 1 o'clock in the morning.
Riding their bikes, you're like, what the? This is like Bizarro
We're
world. man.
driving by, I'm going, where the fuck are their
I used
It's
to yell,
another
"Go to
universe.
sleep." I used to yell, "Go to sleep."
Yeah. But anywhere
It's another
between like
universe.
8 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon, ain't nobody around, man. Nobody.
Nap time.
All right, so you had the heat over there. What was those Chicago winters like over there, man?
Let me tell you something. The Chicago winters were the absolute worst. I don't know. They got to be as cold by you, but
This is where you got frostbite on the ear, right? In this shot.
this was we had a fire at Thomas and Pulaski, and it was about 16 below zero, man.
Oh
My fucking ear hurt for a week. I'm gonna tell
man!
you.
And it wasn't from your wife.
No.
I gotta ask like a technical question. Like, how do you like? You had the bunker. You had the bunker gear. No, hold on. You had the bunker gear, right? How did you dress for that kind of weather? Was the bunker gear
Not when
enough?
we were firemen. We were firemen. We didn't have bunker gear.
Okay.
I wish we would have bunker gear when I was a fireman. I burned my knee so many times from crawling because I couldn't pull my boots up because they were dry rot.
Gotcha.
I wish I had bunker pants when I was a fireman. You know what? I was one of the best duck walkers because you had a duck walk. Otherwise, you're on your knees getting burned.
That's so funny. They teach you that in primary school. Remember that the duck walk?
Yeah,
you gotta
duck
walk.
walk.
Listen,
Even duck walking with bunker gear is not bad to do either. Just because you don't get what you don't get all.
I don't even know. Do they teach?
Yeah, but you don't have to duck walk.
No, you don't have to. But you can.
I don't even think they teach that now, bro.
No, they probably don't.
No.
So then, how do you deal with what are you wearing for the winters in Chicago when it's 16 below?
He just showed you what he was wearing. That's it.
Well, the bunker gear is great now, but when I was a fireman, we had some fucking fires that were. We had one fire was 80 below with the wind.
Ooh.
When you spit, if it caught your cheek, it froze. It
Oh
was
my
fucking
God.
brutal. I'm not kidding you. And that night we had we went to a fire. We had 3 firemen die.
No.
It
is
was
that right?
86 below zero with the wind chill.
Wow.
And
You said 3 guys. 3 guys.
I knew the 3 guys. Yeah,
They passed away at a job there.
yeah.
Wow.
They wrote a roof down, and actually 4 guys went in. 3 guys died. 1 guy crawled up the beam and was laying on the coping. He was all burned up.
Wow.
A taxpayer? What kind of building was it?
It was a 3-flat in the front with a electronics store on the first floor and apartments above. And in the back, there was a 1-story brick garage that almost butted up to the 3 flat, and that's what they stored all their equipment in. Well, there was a couple, they were from South Korea. They started the fire. Obviously, for whatever, no lack of business or whatever. But we responded to this at night. There was about, 1 or 2 in the morning. It was a cold night. We were second engine, so we took the rear. So we took the rear where that 1-story brick, like a garage was. So, the first engine took the front. They went in the front. There was a small fire in the 3 flat, but most of the fire was in the brick garage. So it was bottled up tighter than a drum. It had another chain link fence and stuff, and there was a 2x3 foot window. So one of the truckmen we were yelling for a saw, so one of the guys comes back with a saw. He got a wood blade on it. What the fuck? He said, let me go get the other saw. So hurry up. We're waiting there with the line, to get in. And he's got these accordion gates on there. So I said, leave your axe. We'll try to bust the door through the accordion gates. Make a long story short, one of the guys I work with, Duffy, he jumps up on a dumpster to try to work on this window. So now the dumpster's moving, and I'm kind of holding the dumpster. I'm kind of holding his leg, and he's pulling this fucking screen off. He's pulling the wood off, and he's just throwing the shit wild. And I'm fucking trying to duck and everything. I look over here. I look up. I got hit in the face with like a fucking piece of 4x4. I said, Jack. I go down. Boom. I get up. I feel all warm. I know my nose is bleeding. I said, Jagoff, you just fucking hit me with some wood. he goes, you got a broken nose. I go, you fucking Jagoff.
You don't look so good.
So now I'm looking, I've got blood all over my glove. I go, this motherfucker. So my lieutenant goes, go over to the ambulance. Fuck, the fire was just started. I said, go over to the ambulance. So go over to the ambulance, fucking take my coat off. You get me, they put a Kotex on my nose, and not even 5 minutes, everybody, it went fucking crazy because the fucking roof collapsed with truck 58 on there, and I'm sitting in the ambulance. I didn't know what the fuck happened yet. All I know was something's going on. So all of a sudden they got this one fireman that crawled out. His name was Sammy. And they're walking him to the ambulance. His fucking face is all burned. His skin's hanging. Hands are burned. And I thought it was a good friend of mine, Tommy Banks, on squad 2. And I'm yelling, Tom. And he's not answering. The kid's obviously in shock, And then I get out and look more. I figure it's not. I figured out it's not Tommy. But anyway, I jump out of the ambulance. I go, hey, take this guy. Because they were waiting for an ambulance to come and get him. I go, I'm out of this fucking thing.
Yeah.
So they in, I grab my shit, I get dressed, I go back to the fire, right? I go back, I follow my guys, we do our thing, we put the fire out, grab our 211 bags, go, duck into a restaurant and change into some dry clothes, So they're looking at take my bandage off, they're looking at my nose, I go, that fucking thing is smashed flat. I didn't want to look at it. I go over to the thing, and I'm telling you, it was fucking like somebody took an iron and threw it out my head.
You want to know why he went and got his coat?
That's what men do.
That's what men do right there with a flat nose, Mo, with a flat nose.
Looks like an iron.
Hey,
I could have went around and told everybody, hey, the roof collapsed on me. I broke my nose. Oh fuck! What was I gonna? I said I can't lie.
Jack off through it. Some jack off.
Yeah, my partner hit me in the head with a fucking 2x4. So anyway, they're looking all over for me because they thought the ambulance transported me. So now they're ripping my lieutenant a new asshole. Where is he? We checked every hospital. He's not there. He goes, he's right there.
the guy with the flat nose.
The guy looks like Tom and Jerry. Like Jerry hit him with an iron.
Get the fucking ambulance. So I got the ambulance. I worked the fire though, so it was good.
So what a couple of rounds with Rocky.
Yeah,
All right, rock on.
All right, so somebody from the I guess somebody from CFD is asking, ask him about the fire on 43 when the guy was thawing his pipes out and went to a 511.
511 with how many special? There was 17 frames going. Again, this was 86 below zero with the wind.
Shit.
No,
I'm gonna tell you, I don't think you guys got this fucking cold like we got it.
I don't think
No
so
way.
either. No way.
Nuh-uh.
It was
Minus
colder
20
than
maybe.
fucking colder than a witch's tit. I'm gonna tell you this. So I'm off that day. This was the third shift that caught this fire, and fucking Chico was thawing his pipes with a torch. Well, he lived in a frame building. Caught his frame went up and went to the next one. Went 17 frames later.
Oh my God!
The only thing that stopped it was Bloomingdale.
I was going to say the street.
No, there was a fucking train
Oh,
track.
the train track went there. Oh, all right.
It was the only thing that stopped it. But here's the funny thing. I was at home. It was so cold. I tried to start my car 8 o'clock at night. My car ain't starting. I go, fuck. I only got a couple of years on the job. You know, I go, I got to get to work. How the fuck am I going to get to work? You know, I go out there. My car's dead. I call my brother. I go, you got to drive me to the firehouse. He goes, now? I go, yeah, in about an hour. I'm going to go there. I'll sleep over. And I get up. I'll be at work, you know. Okay, so I go. He drives me there. The fucking boys are out. But they had a recall that night because they had 2 extra alarms that night. They had 2 511s going at the same time. So they instituted what was called a recall. So the previous shift got rehired back. So I get to the firehouse. They're not even there yet. So I had the soup on and everything. They were bringing guys back, you know, to thaw out and everything and try to get something to eat a little bit, to thaw out and then go back and shit. So I was helping these guys, chopping them out of their coats and everything. What are you doing here? They're asking me. I go, it's a long fucking story. My car won't start. Anyway, I got soup for you, motherfucker. they're still scratching their head going. They're scratching their head going, what the fuck you doing here? Long story. Anyway, make a long story short, on the second or third trip back, I got my gear and I went back. I jumped on the rig and went to work.
Went back to work too.
Yeah,
right?
I went to work.
You got to play a little bit.
I had to play a little bit. You know, most of the shit was kind of out. There was just a lot of shit that washed down, you know. And then the next day we went back. We had to chop out. Fucking hose was frozen solid. I don't know how many lengths of hose were burned up and
Wow,
just frozen and shit.
Hey, Chief, you know what? I want to ask you what did the guys in Chicago think about backdraft?
I mean, it was okay. I mean, there was a lot of guys that worked in it.
I got to ask you a serious question, though.
Check that door for heat, Tim.
I know the chauffeur, right? The heavy guy. He was on the job, right? The heavy guy that drove the engine in backdraft.
I think he was an actor. There was a couple of firemen. Kevin Casey was on the job. And
all right.
Kevin was doing some acting. He had a good part in it. He had a good role in it. He was also in some other movies, though. Kevin's a good guy. And
I remember watching that movie right before I got on the job. I thought, like, wow, this is how the job is, huh? Great.
We were all supposed to go to the funeral scene. They got all Chicago guys in their dress uniforms.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
So I don't know, a couple thousand guys or whatever going. It was the next morning. I think it was a Sunday. And they wanted us there like 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, Saturday night, we all went out and got mooned up, you know? So come Sunday, my alarm clock goes off. I'm looking, I'm still half in the bag, and I look out the window, it's raining.
Oof.
I go, fuck this. I ain't go. I said, fuck backdraft. I'm going back to bed.
Back to bed, yeah. Well, some of the guys, actually, one of the guys, is Tony Buckrup. Mr. Tony Buckrup is asking if you knew anything about the infamous Chicago arsonist named Fat Albert.
Oh, Fat Albert. Yeah, I knew Fat Albert. He used to work in Humboldt Park a lot.
What happened with that? What's the story with this guy?
Albert was a serial arsonist.
Well, we need those guys in our life, no doubt.
Oh, man, let me tell you. I'll tell you about Albert. The first time I met Albert, we were at a Stone Box on Division in Rockwell. I had a couple of years on, and we're shooting some water in the back, you know. And my lieutenant is yelling at me. He says, "Get that guy." I said, "Get that." Now, there's two guys standing there, a Puerto Rican guy, and this other guy. He's got like a fire department windbreaker on, and he's got like the polyester pants, you know. And I grabbed the Puerto Rican guy. He goes, "Not him, the other guy." I said, "Who, the fireman?" He goes, "There ain't no fireman, it's Fat Albert." I go, "Who the fuck is Fat Albert?" I didn't know who he was until he told me, but Albert.
Then you let him go.
No, he walked away. I didn't know who the fuck he
Let
wanted
him
me
go.
to grab.
Let him go. Why you guys got to bother the guy? Stop bothering him. Let him do his thing.
There was a rumor, allegedly, that Albert used to play cards at Engine 30's house.
Ah.
That was a single engine house, and they used to play cards, and they used to take his money and fuck with him. And he would tell them, "You're going to have a fire in an hour, and you're going to drop this much hose." And sure
That what
enough,
happened?
Get
Yeah.
the fuck out of here.
sure
Everybody
enough,
needs a Fat Albert in their life. There's no doubt about it.
So Mitch in the chat is saying there were no bunts with Fat Albert. He swung for the fences, all extra alarms.
Nice.
Oh, let me tell you something. Albert did it good.
Yeah.
There's no bullshit with Albert.
That's the
At
first
least
I
from
heard
what
of that.
I know,
How did
He was
Albert not wind up in jail?
he did.
Oh,
He did. He went to jail.
He did.
He
Finally.
went to jail. And
Somebody
here, when he got out, I'm a captain now. He comes around 43, and he was selling radios. And I see him. I see him walking up. I said, "Albert?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "You can't be here, you know that." He goes, "I know." He goes, "But I'm selling radios." I said, "Fuck, I need a radio in my room. You know, I didn't have a radio in my room." I says, "How much?" He goes, "For you, nothing." I said, "Oh, you could come in and have a coffee then." I said, I told the guys, "Don't leave any matches on the table."
Yeah, don't leave that-
You know?
Take that gallon of gas on your way out, all right?
Yeah. Leave that gas can alone, Albert.
They had one in Bushwick. Remember, Ruffy? Like like the mid 2000s, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
This guy was lighting up fires all over the place. I think they caught him.
They
You
did
know,
take him.
He
It wasn't
as
too long.
As Fat Albert, though.
Yeah, he wasn't.
You know what? Firemen secretly love arsonists.
Oh,
of course.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm like,
Fuck.
please,
Are
God.
you kidding me? Leave that guy alone. Fuck.
So they're asking in the chat here if you would explain some of the Chicago terminology, like still, box, etc.
Oh,
I don't know what that means, but you know they're
a
asking.
still would be you're stilled out to some type of fire incident. So a regular still is 2 engines, 2 trucks, and a chief. That's a still.
Gotcha.
Upon confirmation of a fire, they would send a squad, a command van, and a RIT team. Okay, so if I boxed a fire, I got two more engines, and I got a tower ladder. If they weren't one of the first or second trucks, then I got another truck.
So box means that you want additional help, like we would give a second alarm or extra engine and truck or something like that.
Right. I escalated the alarm. So it
All
goes
right.
from still
To
to box to 211 to 311, 411, 511.
Ah, gotcha.
So if you get there, let's say you pull up and it's a fire, what signal do you give? Box?
No. If I pull up into the fire, we go to work.
Yeah, but what signal do you give to a working
like we have
fire?
1075, and you just say,
I just tell them I got a fire.
"Oh, all right."
So when I tell them I got a fire, then they send a van, the squad, and the RIT team. You know.
10-4.
So
Those damn
Nice.
squad guys.
Those damn squad guys always trying to get in there.
Coming in late, leaving early.
They're asking if you know what trichlorate is.
They were killing firemen from cash.
our squad was
Okay,
coming
roll
from a
on.
little bit away. So if I had a fire to the west of my district, even if it was a pretty good fire, by the time they got there, fucking thing was out.
Yeah, right. Most of the time.
You know, so I explained to them. I said, "I'm not going to have you guys fucking driving like crazy men here, and you're not going to do nothing." I said, well, "You'll know when I need you, and
Yeah.
put it this way: if I pull a box, I need you."
Yeah, right. You were holding out until you couldn't do it anymore.
Right,
man.
right.
How was your turnouts, Chief? Did you turn out fast?
You mean our push-outs?
Oh,
Push out? Is that what you call it? Like the alarm goes off, how did the guys turn out?
Well, you better get out of that fucking house fast. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Is that what you call it? A push out? You call it a push out?
You fucking push out. But
fucking push out.
Hey, you took a push out.
All right, Rocco!
let me tell you something. The two officers tried to always beat me out of the room down the hallway, and they never could. They always said I slept with my pants on. But I said, you're full of shit. Because as I'm running down the hallway, I'm buckling my pants. I said, you two pricks are just slow.
My pants.
Just slow.
So if the guys in the back, if they weren't on, was the rig rolling?
Well, I'm in the SUV. So I mean, when I was an officer, oh fuck it. I used to tell them, when I'm ready, my door shuts, we go.
That's it.
If you're on, you're on.
That's
if you're not, find a way there.
Love it.
Find a way there. But when I was a chief, I'm by myself, so I get in my car and go. You know?
Did you have a driver, like an aide that drove you, or you drove?
No, I drove myself. I didn't want to. They got rid of the drivers 25 years ago.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's even better.
And you know what?
It's
It's the best thing going, Kevin.
Hey, drive yourself? Hell yeah.
Drive myself. Nobody drives like me. I'd be sitting in the thing, and I'd be telling this guy, step on it. Let's go. Then I said, get out. You get over here. I'm driving.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I got a quick story about my brother. My brother was a deputy when I was on light duty. At the end, I drove him. I was his aide. I drove him.
Oh, that was good, huh?
Yeah, it was fun. But he's the type of guy, like, I guess he's used to people, because I was a chauffeur in the squad. I knew where I was going. So it was just automatic for him. He'd be like, make a left, take a right, go 2 blocks up, make a left. So finally, I pull the fucking thing. I'm like, do you want to fucking drive, or do you want me to fucking? What do you want to do? If you want to drive, get the fucking seat and drive.
That's funny, because when I was an officer on 43, that was a hard still district. So I would get my relief engineer, and I would have to tell him.
He wouldn't know where he was going, right?
Take a right, go to
Right.
next street, left, go down 2 blocks, right. You know, that's how it was. You know.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. When you became a chief, did you look at the squads differently? Like you had to use for them more as a chief, as opposed to?
Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no. I told you, when I had work, I needed them.
Yeah.
When I didn't have it, don't forget, I had four companies in the building in the 2-flat. That's 20 guys in the 2-flat. Am I going to get 6 more guys in there?
Oh yeah.
How many more guys can you fit? At least 5 more.
At least 5 more.
Thing will collapse.
At least
You know
5
what?
more.
When I needed them, I used them.
That's it.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not a squad hater. Not remotely am I a squad hater. But again, if I don't need them, I'm not going to have them.
You know what, Chief? And
there's no work
even
anyway,
for
what
us,
do you
yeah.
wanna do?
I don't want to go in the building and do a smoke walk. I don't want to do any of that shit.
Well,
you know?
yeah. I mean, they would pull up and the fire's out, then they get up and walk over. And we just wanted to say hi. I said,
Yeah, that's it.
You know,
You guys
fine.
can take up. Right, exactly. That's
Yeah.
fine.
I said, listen, they know when I got on the radio and say, but Battalion 18 to Squad 2, where are you? We're over. I said, kick it in the ass. Let's go. I need help.
Mm.
They know.
Right. And you could depend on those guys.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, I had 20 guys I could depend on. But sometimes you just need a little extra help.
That's it.
So
Right.
Of course.
So some of the guys, one of the guys in the chat who obviously knows you, he said Battalion 13 to main hold the squad. Famous word.
no, not on purpose. Not on purpose. not with no malice. We had the fire. I mean, if I had a good fire, I had the squad. There's no doubt. But the most of the times, maybe because my guys were just good, we put the fire out.
Yeah, no doubt.
We put the fire out. I mean, like I said, when I needed them, I used them.
That's it.
Nice.
What
I
about
got,
what about yeah, Ruffy.
I got a couple of guys have been emailing me. Did you know Chief Bob Huff?
Bobby Huff, yeah. Oh, yeah. He was our commissioner. You know what? early in my career when I was a fireman on 43, he was the lieutenant on Squad 2.
All right. So he was the guy you used to see kind of regularly on
We
jobs.
we saw Squad 2 quite a bit at fires. And as a matter of fact, I'd be laying on a pipe in an attic with no tank on, and Tommy Banks used to crawl up and stick his cheater in my mouth.
Allegedly.
And I would get a couple of puffs, a couple blows. But minus all the schnapps and everything on there. But at that time, I didn't give a shit because that
was the best thing. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's the best.
It felt you don't want to be in the attic without a tank. And we got caught there a few times.
And who was Slick?
Oh, Joey Muscolino.
Right.
I'm getting all these guys. They were texting me all week once they saw your picture up there. What they call him? Slick? He had good hair, or he's just?
He always had good hair.
Good with the babe.
He was a tame guy. He looked like the guy from what was that? Miami Vice. White suit and
Sonny Crockett.
Sonny Crockett.
Don Johnson.
Hey, Don Johnson. When we went to Club Med one year, we all came out with polo shirts. He come out with a fucking jacket with no shirt on. We go, look at this motherfucker.
Don Johnson. That was Don Johnson.
We said he's going to get abroad first.
Ocean
So
Pacific.
I got to ask, there's a picture you said. Oh, go ahead, Kev.
Somebody's asked the chief about Rob Smitty Smith. Robert Smitty Smith. I don't know. Come on, Bobby. Give us more than that.
Yeah, give us more than that.
These guys are throwing out a lot of stuff. Well, you sent us a picture. This was you down on the pile.
That's Joey Muscolino.
Hey,
Right?
Mink, yeah.
Oh, I could see how he's a good-looking guy. He's getting some ass, no doubt.
So I got to ask you, as a Chicago firefighter who came to help us out here post 9/11, what was your experience down there on the pile like, and working with guys like this?
Well, hold on, Chief. Before you get started, I just want to say that's how I met Chief Timothy from Jimmy. Correct?
Jimmy from Jersey.
From Jersey contacted me. I always get these guys. They send me, but I had his Chief Timothy's name had come up a few times. So he had said, if you really want an old salty guy, ghetto guy, hit me up.
Old.
He said older than dirt, I think he said.
Fuck. I take offense to that.
No, he didn't say that. But he said, to give him a call, and he gave me the spiel about him, and he told me this story, and I had told the chief that he definitely has to tell the story about how he met Jimmy for the Trade Center. So go ahead, Chief. I just wanted to give you a little
story how I met him, and then I got a story how we pulled up to this trade center. But
yeah,
I'll tell you how I met the kid. We were in Punta Cana. There was four families. Our kids played hockey together, so we went on a vacation with 4 families. And so, make a long story short, I had raced one of my buddies, and he was 10 years younger than me, and I popped my hamstring running on the beach. So I'm sitting by the pool with some ice on my hamstring, and I'm smoking a dog and drinking these silly daiquiris, and this kid walks by with a bottle of beer. He walks by with a bottle of beer. I go, yo, where the fuck you get that? He goes, what? I said, where'd you get that beer? He goes, I got a guy. I go, you better get that fucking guy and get more beer.
I got a guy.
So I said, here, I'm buying if you're flying because I got a bad wheel. I can't go. So he goes, he comes back with a bucket of beer. He sits down. He starts talking, introduces himself. He's on his honeymoon.
He's hanging out with you.
Yeah, that's what I said. I go, what are you doing here? What the fuck? He goes, I'd rather be here. So him and his wife joined us, and they stood with us the whole vacation. I'm going to tell you, they had an absolute ball, and we had a ball too. But that's how I got to know him, and then we stood in contact and everything. And so when the Trade Center happened, I was in. It happened on a Tuesday, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Tuesday, yep. And we didn't go down there until the following Monday. So anyway, in fact, I was at the firehouse working Tuesday when this happened. we were exchanging our air packs from MSA to SCBA. Anyway, we're doing this in the morning, and I got the TV on, and I'm fucking looking at the TV. I see the plane go in the building. I go, fucking movie? I'm looking at this, watching the guys do their thing. I go, I'm trying to listen. It's got emergency on there. What the? Finally, I say, stop. We turn the TV up. I go, this is a fucking problem. You know, and then here comes the other plane in the other building. I go, this is a fucking problem. I go, these firemen, they got a problem here. You know, and so anyway, that was Tuesday. So the whole day, the whole week goes by. He told me he was working on the pile, and I said, oh, you could get on the pile? He goes, yeah, I'll get you on the pile. So I didn't want to go at first. I talked to my buddy Joe and a couple other guys, and they said, let's go. So we were in Holland, Michigan on Friday and Saturday for a hockey tournament. And Jimmy, I talked to him Saturday. He goes, yeah, come. I said, well, I'm coming home tomorrow, Sunday. I said, we'll get ready, and we'll be there early Monday morning. So we get a van. There's me and three of my buddies, Joey, this guy Callahan, and Sampy. So we go down there. The longest fucking drive I ever took. That Pennsylvania sucks.
Oh my God, Pennsylvania, the longest state ever.
we had the old book map. It was one page, 2. I go, where the fuck does this state end?
Pennsylvania is the god awful longest state.
So anyway, we get through was it the Lincoln Tunnel or whatever?
Yeah, Lincoln Tunnel, yeah.
And Jimmy's waiting there on the other side of the tunnel in a buggy, a Cliffside Park buggy with the lights on and everything. He sees us. He goes, follow me in. Jimmy was fucking Ubats. So this motherfucker, we run right up to the fence. The cops are there. The guards are there. The army's there. They're going like this. He jumps out of the thing. He goes, I got Chicago firemen here. Open the gates. Here's the copper. Open the gates. I swear to God, I can't make this up. Open the fucking gates. We pull the van in right in front of a pumper that was on a hydrant pumping. Parked there for 2 days and stood there, right? So these guys dropped us off in the morning. Well, that morning we stood, and they came back at night and got us about 11 o'clock. So these guys couldn't have been nicer, man. They had brought us back to their firehouse in Cliffside. They had hot food for us and cold beer. They had a nice bed ready for us. We fucking slept like a log, got up, breakfast, coffee, drove us back to the pile. You know, the second day. The first day we did 10 hours. Second day, I think we did 12. So on the second day, the New York Chiefs were coming around, and they were, talking to guys, and they were talking to us, and they said, listen, where you from? We told them, thanks for coming. We appreciate it, but can you do me a favor? And I said, what? He goes, can you guys leave? I said, sure. We got no span of control. You know what I mean? We said, we appreciate you guys coming, but we got to start getting rid of some people that, we just want our guys here, which is understandable. We didn't take offense to
I remember something. I remember that happening, something to that effect.
Yeah. Well, we did. You know what? We got there the first hour. We found a body. So we didn't touch the body. We found it. We didn't touch it. Went over and told the New York chief, hey, we got a body. And your guys came and got it. And we kept digging. You know what I mean? So that wasn't our thing to take the body out.
Right.
But so, try to give some respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course.
So,
God bless you.
And I talked to a lot of New York guys. They're hey, that's nice you guys are coming, And I'll tell you what, a month later, we came back for funerals. And I'll tell you what, I had the time of my life there. I don't think I paid for a drink the whole weekend. There was women hugging me. Thank you for coming. And just the guy's family were just, it was unbelievable.
What we said last time, right? It's the brotherhood, man. It's the brotherhood.
Yeah, that's why fireman's a fireman. I don't care where you're from.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same mindset. Might be a different patch, but it's the same mindset.
Yep.
Hey, there's real firemen and there's firemen. Just like
he told me when I first called him, he said to me, I said, I could tell right away, Chief, I think you're going to be good for the show. He says, Lou, you know, you've been on the job long enough. There's firemen, and then there's real firemen. And I said, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know which one I am. I like to think I'm in the good one, but I don't know.
When the firemen get in trouble, they call the real firemen.
Oh, shit.
That's what happens. You guys got every department's got, you know.
Mhm.
Listen, you know who the Tigers are, and you know who you could count on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember when I came on the job, there was 5 Tigers on every rig. You know, I remember we went to a fire once. We had a couple of years on, and there was an argument. Who's on the hydrant? Fuck you! I was on the hydrant last time. No, I'm on the hydrant. I'm on the pipe. No, you were on the fucking pipe last time. So we got a fire on the 3rd floor of a fucking apartment building, and there's all 3 of us fighting for the pipe. My lieutenant goes, "Hey, assholes, who's making a fucking hydrant?" I ain't going to point. I ain't fucking going. So finally, one of the guys goes down, and our engineer goes, "Fuck you! I don't need you. I made the hydrant."
Oh shit! So he got screwed again.
So after that fire, we went back and had a powwow, and we had and that's when we started doing a rotation. So every fire, the pipe guy would go to the hydrant. Second,
that's good.
Do a fucking rotation.
You don't do that at the beginning of the tour, though? You don't have it like labeled who's got, or that was at the beginning of the tour?
We do, but when I first came on, it was always senior man on the pipe.
Right. Some places do that.
And you know what? No. I said, that ain't going to fly.
Yeah, because you could be, you could never get the pipe. I mean,
never get the pipe.
Right.
So I said, if you're going to keep it this way, I'm gonna leave. I just go to a truck. Fuck it.
You're right.
You know?
Right.
Which I didn't want to, but then our lieutenant, he was a good guy. He said, you know what? We're going to start a rotation. Because he didn't want to have any more fucking fights and no guys going to the hydrant. Yeah. You know? So, yeah.
I like that. A little knuckle up for the pipe, bro. I like
What was that?
Go knuckle up for the pipe. I like that motto.
In your own company. Yeah.
Hey. You guys know sometimes at fires you had fist fights.
Yeah.
It just happened, you know.
Little pushing, little shoving.
What happened to that guy?
Little fuck you
slipped on a bar of soap.
Yeah.
You know?
That's it.
Hey, when the lights go out, you never know where it's coming from, right, bro?
Yeah, nobody ever said anything.
No.
You know, the guy come and punch. That guy punched me in the face. I didn't see him.
Allegedly it happened.
Yeah, allegedly.
Come on, Mo.
Go to Swingtown, Mo. Oh!
Come on now.
Hey.
Where are we, Coop, on the timeline? Were we at a chief yet, or where is he? Is he promoted? We're all over.
Oh, we're all over the place. Well, he was captain, truck 4. We got up there. Then he got promoted April 1st, 2000.
Chief.
To chief, right?
Yeah.
And you were citywide relief first. Is that what you were? Or?
Yeah, I was a reliever for about five years, but I had the route in the 4th district, so that was Battalion 13, 14, 15, 16. So 13 and 14 were busy, 15 was and 16 was slow. So
perfect.
I took 15 and 16 as long as I went to 13 and 14.
Yeah, of course. Well, listen, you worked the 2 tours over there. Then when you get, you're a little tired, you want a good meal or something.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. You already had 20 plus years already. That's right around the time where you're like,
I had 20.
Yeah. Oh, so you did almost 20 as a chief.
I did 18 years as a chief.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was your favorite out of all? If you had to pick your favorite time, where was it? In the end, as a fireman, a lieutenant, captain, a combination of both, or the whole thing?
I would say at the beginning when I was a fireman on the engine, and at the end when I was a chief in the 13th Battalion. So
right here.
I mean, it was all good in the middle too, but
look at this salty guy over here.
Salty guy over there, man.
Yo, Mo.
Yo, Mo.
Hey.
You know what? It's nice to run. It's nice to run things the way you want.
Yeah,
you know,
no doubt.
You know, he reminds me of Coop Ferran.
Who? Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Right? No, just how he. That's how Ferran is. We got a chief in the 14th. He's very, he's a salty dude. He doesn't say much, and yeah, he's pretty. He's kind of got the helmet like you got too. He's a little salty dude.
Chief,
Almost could be misconstrued as a jagoff, huh?
You know what? That's a new T-shirt. Misconstrued as a jagoff.
You jago.
So,
guy's a
Chief,
douche.
you were saying how you want to run things, how you want to run it. How do you like to run things? What's your MO? Not Mo, but MO.
I mean, get in there aggressively, put out the fire. No fucking around. Go to work.
Yeah, put the wet stuff on the hot stuff.
I want to see the hose on the ground. Hopefully you're picking. I had good off. Let me tell you something. I had the best guys. And you're only as good as your men. You could be the best chief and have a bunch of dogs, and you're going to look like a dog. You could be the best officer and have a shit fucking crew, and you'll be shit.
Yep.
But you know what? You could have a shit officer and a good crew.
And you look like a good officer, right? Exactly.
You could be a shit chief and fucking look, and the boys will make you look good. Let me tell you.
That's a good point. That's the truth.
You're only as good as your men.
Chief Cleohouse said, yup.
Yeah. You're only as good as your guys. I don't care. You're only as good as your fucking guys.
Yeah. And Rufy, you asked the chief about the best time in his career, but when you think about it, you get on the job, especially if you're a single guy, bro, the life of the fireman, bro, going to the outings, going on trips, going to fires, not caring about anything else. Yeah, you want to work? Yeah, I'll work. I don't care. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you,
I work Monday and Tuesday.
Christmas, yeah, I work Christmas. You want to work New Year's? Yeah, I work New Year's.
When I came on, I was lucky enough to see some of the old stuff. We were still riding the back step.
Nice.
We were still riding the back step. Oh, it was fucking great. You'd be going down the street. My engineer's doing 60 miles an hour on California Avenue. I'm hanging out with two fingers out of the back. I look and he's looking in the mirror. I'm giving him the finger. He's giving me the finger. I was fucking turning the corner,
Hanging on for dear life.
You got broads banging a horn at you. There's nothing better. You go to fucking fire or a couple of fires, and you go back to the neighborhood and you go to the bar and you're like, "Wait, what did you do last night?" He goes, "Oh, I didn't do nothing." Get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here.
Jag off.
Jag off.
That's the life, though, right, Chief? What's better than that?
Nothing
it changes as you get older. You have kids and all this shit. But getting on the job when you're young and
when you're young and you see that's great. But you know what else made me feel good? When I was a chief later, I saw the young guys doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No doubt about it.
I identified with it and I said, "Have a good time, boys." Like I said, I had a bunch of I had guys that I didn't have to push in. I had guys that sometimes I had to pull out.
Take out. Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't have I had a luxury, but sometimes I had to pull them out.
You know what, Chief? It's funny you say that is because later on in my career, I would try and get into the building, not for me, but for my guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would want to get a piece of the job for them.
Yeah,
because then afterwards we would critique it and I could see the excitement in them. I'm excited to go to the job, but I was more excited for them at that point in my career to see what they were doing at the job and talking it up. And because you can only drill and talk about stuff so much, you have to go through the motions. So you want them to, you need them to get into the jobs and, being in the squad, like you said, it's tough. And, we have
on-the-job training. You learn from doing. And you could drills as much as you want, but until you do it in an incident, that's when you remember it.
But that's the truth. It was true that I like to watch them to go to work.
I used to sit with the young guys, especially the new guys. They come on, they had a year or two. We'd sit at the table on the apparatus floor, smoking a dog, and hey, Chief, we gonna get a fire today? I said, I hope we get fucking tree fires, And they're looking at me like, this guy wants tree fires. I fuck yeah, I want tree fires. I go, what the fuck am I doing here if I ain't going to a fire? So, and the young guys, they were feeding off of that, they go, yeah, I love this.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
So you gotta build them up and watch them go,
Hey, Mitch keeps asking, get rid of the loads, Mo. What is it?
Oh, get rid of the loads. We used to call the shit firemen loads. Hello, man.
Hey.
Get rid of the loads. I like it.
We would, if a guy was a shit fireman, call him a load. You know, get rid of the load. I had no patience for loads.
He also said, "You gonna throw that ladder or what, Mo?"
Yeah. Or my roll call was, "Who's on the 20?" You know,
Who's on the 20? Oh, we got a picture of that, Pete.
Yeah, I got it. I got it right here. So this is your last day. The boys set something up here. I'm gonna try to zoom in.
That's my last day. They made this table of skeletons with fire gear on it.
What does it say right there?
Who's throwing the 20, Mo?
Who's throwing the 20, Mo? That was my Lion roll call. And then
What does that mean? What does that mean? Who's throwing the 20?
Who has the
that
roof,
means on 2 flats. You know, if you had a 2 flat, one fireman would throw the 20 to the second floor. You know, I kind of always wanted a ladder around the building, not for civilians, but for firemen.
Yeah, sure.
You know, so it was just a thing we said every morning. Who's got the 20? You know, who's throwing the 20? Anyway, this what it is. Say just one more
lead out. Yep.
Yeah, they would tell me, you know, we'd be picking up from a fire. They said, "Are you done?" I said, "No, one more." One more.
And then
what does the other one say? I don't know what
the other one says. I'm not leaving, Mo.
I'm not leaving. They're fucking nuts. I tell you what, them guys did a great job for my last day, and it was something. It was a good way to go out. What do you got on the table there?
What do you got on the table there, Mo?
I think it's a bottle of Powers.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, allegedly it was drunk on later that evening.
Could have been, maybe.
Allegedly.
That's what we heard.
But I tell you what, I had a great last day, and I went out with a bang. I had a Stillen box at 4 a.m, a 6-line fire on a 3 flat with an enclosed porch that got into the building next door. So that was my last run and my last fire.
You went out with a bang.
I couldn't have planned it better myself.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. When did you actually? What made you want to retire at that point? What was the reason? I mean, did you opt out age-wise? No.
I was 60. I was 62, and the month to retire was November, but I was turning 63 in August. So in order to get an extra 3%. I had to go in November the year before, so I was 62. So I said, for 8 months, I'm gonna lose 3%.
Yeah, no.
Stupid.
No. Yep. You know? Yeah. How was the adjustment after you retired?
It took me a couple of months. You know, I thought I was on furlough, and I said, "Man, this is double furlough." You know, and then I just said, that's it. Ain't going back, you know. All done. But you know what? It's good now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It is good now.
I love it. I'm going to tell you. Not to say, you know, because what else are you going to say? I miss it. You'd be a fucking nitwit, you know. I'm enjoying myself.
You know what I enjoy? We were just talking about the 40 below, whatever was rough.
I don't miss that.
I get in bed at night in the winter. I'm like, oh goddamn! I'm so glad I'm not out there tonight, bro.
You know,
dude, I don't even have to think about the fire department. Sometimes I get up to take a leak and I look outside and I can't see outside. It's so foggy or something. I'm like, and that's when I would normally leave at 4:30 in the morning to go to work. I'm like, I don't miss even just getting out into the car. I mean, just
my fucking hands don't work no more in the cold. They don't work. I remember we had a fire. Towards the end of my career, it was cold. It was cold. It was a long fire. It was a fucking auto body shop. We were there for a while. It was just fucking bitter cold. I had to take a piss. So I pop in this fucking joint next to the thing, and my hands were so frozen, I couldn't get my pants unbuckled.
Oh, yeah, man.
So fucking, I got to piss. I'm pissed. This fireman's coming by. I go, yo, undo my belt. He goes, what? I go, undo my fucking belt. The guy's going,
I'm going to piss myself.
I go, listen, bro, you don't take the fucking belt off, I'm pissing my pants. So he undoes the belt. I take the thing up. Holy fuck. It was like a 2.5-inch stream going. I had to piss like a racehorse. So anyway, he runs away, the kid, because he thought maybe, hey, do I got to rebuckle?
I don't know what's going on over here with this guy. Maybe he was going to shake it. You know what I mean?
Nuts.
Give me a little shake.
Hey, did
That
you?
was funny.
Was that Fat Albert that gave you the send off on your last day, or
No, but I'll tell you a story. There was and a couple of guys attest to this, and there was this board up guy named Jimmy. You know what a board up guy is? They follow the fires. They board up the houses.
Yeah, after the job.
After the job is done. So we had this black kid. His name was Jimmy, and he was at all the fires, you know. So we see him that night. We had a little fire on Laurel or something, a bedroom fire. And he goes, "Hey, Chief, how you doing?" I go, "Hey, good, Jim. How are you?" So one of the guys said, "Hey, you know, this is Chief's last day." He goes, "Get out of here. It's your last day." I go, "Yeah, it's my last day." He said he's hoping to get a good fire. So he goes, "He will. He will." Just like that. So after this fire,
we need some of these guys in New York.
We're fucking we go, "That motherfucker hit this for us?" I go, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Before we, shift gears here, they keep hammering away about telling us some E61 stories.
What?
E61. If you have any E61 stories.
Oh, I was never on 661. That was a good engine, though. No, that was a good engine.
All right, Todd in the chat, get your facts straight.
That was a good engine, though.
Oh, yeah?
No, I didn't go around 61 until I was the chief floating. But
gotcha.
I'll tell you a story. 61 was always in the top 5. We were always in the top 5 from 80 to 85. But 61 had projects. You get a lot of runs in the projects. You know,
sure.
It beefs your run total up. But they were good company. They were good company.
Nice, man.
What was like in New York? The war years were, I guess, 70s, early 70s, late 70s.
Same in Chicago.
Same in Chicago.
70s were rocking.
Right.
They had by us in 43's area, and we caught the last 3 or 4 years of it. They had what they called arson for profit. What that was, when people couldn't sell their houses, they burned them.
Right.
And I mean, they burned them at a clip. We were getting, not only us, but we were getting fires. Chicago was getting fires. Matter of fact, they had to enact legislation for the insurance companies. They initiated it. You know, if you had a fire in your building, you had to have an investigation. It was a big thing. If they suspected arson, you didn't get paid.
Right.
So, but they were burning everything back then. I'm going to tell you.
They had some kind of similar program in Bushwick, right, Ruff, where they paid you.
In the Bronx, too. That's how it all happened. That's what they all came about.
They would roll up and people would be out there with their belongings right in the street. They burnt themselves out because the city would relocate them.
Well, especially owners would come and give them a heads up. Hey, this is going tonight.
Yeah, right.
You know, so if you want to stick around, okay. But, if somebody had a vacant building, they just touched the shit out of it. And then you had the gangbangers doing their stuff. We went to this fire once at Cortland and Spalding. It was like a Latin King headquarters that they burned. And I never seen anything like this. They had hung plastic milk gallons full of gas. They would hang it from the ceiling about head high. And they start this joint on fire. So naturally, when the heat got up and started banking down, it melt the plastic and boom, there'd be a fucking sea of fire coming down the stairs.
Holy shit.
You know? And one fire that we had there, you actually got overcome by the smell of gas than the smoke. They had so much gas in there.
Gasoline in there, yeah.
Oh my God. Crazy. Just crazy. These gangbangers were fucking nuts, you know?
And then another name, Tommy O'Donnell.
Oh, Tommy O'Donnell was the chief of the 13th. Yeah, matter of fact, he was a couple of guys ahead of me, but Tommy was a good guy. He was a fireman, and he was good. He was a good chief. He was a guy that never pulled a box. He didn't want any companies outside his battalion. I mean, he was a stickler. I mean, allegedly overworked the guys, but they loved him,
Yeah, because they don't want other people coming most of the time, I would imagine.
Well,
I would say.
I was kind of like that too, but
Yeah, that's good. Somewhat. Unless you're the squad, then you don't like it. You know what I mean?
Listen, I want my guys. I mean,
pull the box, man. Put the box out.
But I had some companies that were outside of my battalion, but that was my still district. Engine 44, and Truck 36, Engine 76, Truck 35. Excellent companies, So, but I was the chief at that fire because that was my still district, So, but I was lucky. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you, I'm one of the luckiest guys going. I couldn't have wrote a better career. If you gave me a pen and paper,
sounds like it. Like you had a good one, man.
Just luck, just fucking lucky.
Who was your main? If you had to look back at your career, I know you have a lot of people, but was there one guy that you look back at and say this guy taught me a lot, or was it an officer or a fireman at the time, or?
Obviously, my first lieutenant was Bill Shizevsky. His brother's the head coach at Duke basketball, Mike.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah. Wow. Matter of fact, every time Mike came in, he would come over to the firehouse.
Is that right?
Cool. Yeah. But Bill, he taught me the job, my engineer, Matt Jagla. Then we had a few relievers, Billy Donahue, another tough fireman, Jimmy Abbott, these guys, Jimmy Taylor. He was a lieutenant on Truck 28. Truck 28 was a rocking truck back in the day. These guys taught me the job, and then plus you learn from a couple old-time firemen. You learn by watching.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to be with some old-time firemen in the first couple of years, and invaluable,
Right.
Invaluable.
And the new guys getting on, they got it. They got they're hungry for the fire. They're hungry for the job, the tradition, all that stuff. The guys that you had in your battalion.
The guys in my battalion are, otherwise they're not going to last. But yeah, we had some good kids, and there's guys that want to come there all the time. There's guys waiting to transfer in, and just seeing the enthusiasm is good.
It's the best.
Good with me.
It's the best. Of course.
That's what I want first, and then show me some balls, and then we're good.
We'll teach you the rest.
Yeah. No. Fuck it.
Bobby Gallione.
As long as you got the balls, we could teach you the rest.
Yep.
Do you go back at all? Do you visit? Do you go to the functions?
It's kind of tough to go back. We meet up with a couple of guys, and we get together, have a smoke or something, a couple of firemen come over, we have a smoke, or we go to lunch with a few retired guys and shit, but it's kind of hard going back to, the firehouse.
Yeah.
And you were saying, Mike, when we were in the pre-show, your son's getting on the job, or he's on the job, or
my son is right now is going to be in the fire academy starting November 2nd. He's a paramedic. Great. He's a paramedic, but he's what they call crossing over. So right now they went through the first 3 months of EMT school. He didn't have to go because he's a paramedic. But when they start the fire side, he'll join them.
Right.
So.
And let's just say his father was a chief on the job at one time. Where might he wind up when he comes out? When
he's not going to Chinatown, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Luck of the draw.
You never know what happens.
I'm going to tell you something. My two sons were riding with me when they were 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
Really?
So, and my one son, Sean, he started going in fires when he was 15.
Wow.
So he's 28 now, or
so. Let's just say that you could get your son somewhere. Where would you like your son to go?
Allegedly. Probably the 18th Battalion, or any busy spot.
Engine first, of course.
Oh yeah. That's where you learn. That's where you got to learn first. Yeah. Listen, everybody should go on an engine first.
We say it a lot. A lot of guys on the show say that as well.
Everybody should go on an engine first, because then when you go on a truck, you know how important it is to open that fucking roof. You know what I mean? Because I'd be laying there on a pipe when a fucking motherfucker open the roof.
As soon as it opens,
shit's hitting you in the head. Now you know it's lifting a little bit. you know. And then the guy looked down, hey, thanks, Jagoff. You know, right?
You jag up.
So-
you
You know,
prick.
they
They're
throw
asking-
more wood down or something.
Guy's
throw
a
more
douche.
shit down.
They're asking technical questions, some of them in the chat here.
Uh-oh.
One guy's asking if, what about the green lights on the apparatus, that he thinks it has something to do with the maritime port and starboard lights, but he's not sure.
It does.
So- okay.
It does. It's got something to do with the boating thing. I don't know the 100% of it, but it is. It's a green and red. It's got something to do with the maritime stuff. I mean, I'm not a stickler on it, but
Oh, Christmas.
You know.
Maybe.
Nice. Yeah, or Christmas.
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Nice, boys. Nice.
you
Well, what time is it, Kev?
Is it that time?
know what's so funny? He's been giving out tips all the whole way. I'm like,
He
is there
has
something
been. I don't know if he's got any more.
else? He's
I
like
got one thing I used to tell when I was a couple.
Hold on now.
Okay,
You know
Mo,
what
hold on.
time it is.
Okay, Mo.
Take a sip, Mo, because you know what time it is? It's time for the old school tip of the day.
All right, Chief, what do you got for us?
When I was an officer, I used to tell the guys, get a 50-foot length of rope with a carabiner attached, put some knots in it every 5 feet and put it in your pocket. I said, you can use it for hoisting. We used to hoist the hose line with it if we had a fire on the 3rd floor instead of doing the stairs. Or one day, if you get in a bind, you might be able to hook a radiator or even a stud and hang out the window until they can get you. So it just might save you one day.
I like it.
Excellent. I like it.
Do those guys have bailouts? They don't have bailouts now, do they, Chief, or no?
They're getting a bailout
Oh, they
system
are.
soon. Yeah.
All right, yeah,
But
because we
that
all
was
had
something
that.
you could do. I mean, you know, I saw a guy hang jump from the 3rd floor.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
He wanted out.
Yeah,
I had
that's it.
one of my firemen. He jumped out of a 2nd floor window. He wanted out.
When it's time to go, it's time to go.
Listen,
No,
nothing,
you
and nothing's
definitely have
going to
to have a
stop
rope.
you. Nothing's going to stop you. You know, at the critique, the guy goes, well, why did he jump? One of the big bosses goes, well, why did he jump out? I go, why did he jump out?
Get the fuck out of
Are
here.
you fucking goofy?
What are you? A yum yum?
That guy made up his mind, and nothing was changing. He was
Yeah.
going out their window.
What are you, a jag off?
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to
Well,
start
I
using
think
that
we're
term a
taking-
little bit more on the show
I
now.
think that could be
Jago.
more of a jag off term. I definitely.
I like that.
I like
We
it.
have yum yum, jag off.
Here,
Jagoff. I like
Jagoff,
Jagoff.
there's a couple of meanings for Jagoff. I'll
Okay.
explain it to you. Now, Jagoff could be a term of endearment, like, hey, Jagoff, how you doing? Or it could be, you're a fucking Jagoff.
Yeah, if you throw the F bomb in there right in front of that, it's probably I wouldn't take that as a good sign for
It's
you.
all with the tone, though, too. It's
That's
how,
right.
how it
You
comes
could
out.
use it as a term of
Yeah.
endearment, or
Yeah.
What,
like that.
what movie
Hey.
was that? That was
All
Hey,
right.
Ruffy, you Jack.
Forget
How you
about
doing,
it.
buddy?
Hey.
That was
Al Pacino said that.
no, Bronx Tale. Your friends are a bunch of jackoffs.
oh, did they say it in there?
yeah.
That's a Chicago term, though, Jagoff.
You jag off.
Well,
I got
Killing
this
it.
one last
Because
question. I got to get.
when Jimmy from Jersey heard that, he goes, Jagoff, what's Jagoff? I go, you're a Jagoff.
You're a jag off. You jag off.
I got to get one more
Yo.
last question in because it's coming in shit hot from
Gary!
Indiana, and you know it's an alumnus of the show, so I got to get this last one in. It's
All right.
Tony Buckrup. He's
gonna
asking,
ask you about Boss Stryden.
what did he think of the Fire fans riding the rigs when some go to work?
Oh, no, we never had fans go to work, but I got to tell you this one story with this fan. I almost killed this guy unintentionally.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought it was Jagoff.
So
hey,
we were going to do a drill. I had 95 Chuck 26, and I called 117 in Tower 14. Meet us over here. We got a new toy we're going to play with, whatever. So Tower 14 pulls up, and off walks this guy. I'm looking at this fucking guy. Who is this guy? His name is Miguel. He's a Fire fan. He's a Puerto Rican kid. And, you know, he wears the pants real high with the belt tight. He's got
Pete,
summer
you mean like
teeth.
Pete?
He's got summer teeth,
Oh,
you know. And he's like, hi, Chief. Hi, Chief. Hi, Chief. Like, Miguel, shut the fuck up. And so
So
we're
like
doing our shit, you know. About 20 minutes go by. So we get a still. So the lieutenant on the truck goes, Chief, can you take him? I got the guys getting dressed. We ain't got room. I said, okay. Well, I had a buddy of mine, Bobby Rose, ride with me. He worked in the alarm office. He used to come by and ride. And I told Miguel, get in the back, put this fucking seatbelt on, and don't touch nothing.
Oh, boy.
Flying down the street. I got to make a left, right? I make a left, and I hear a fucking screech. I look. He's hanging out the door like this. I go, Miguel, I'm going to fucking kill you. I turn the corner, and I had to hurry up and overcompensate back so that he gets back in. And he gets back in, he goes, I'm okay. We got to the thing. We had a pot of meat or something.
Just like Pete. It's exactly like Pete.
So we had a pot of meat. We had a pot of meat. I told him, get the fuck
Look
out
at
of
Pete's
here.
face.
Get out. I told the guy on Tower 14, I go, he never comes back.
That was the end for Miguel.
I said, he never comes back. He never comes back. What if I would have killed this guy? I would have had him bucked. I would have had to bring him back to the firehouse and bury him in the back.
The first hole I dug. Come on.
Boys,
How am I going to explain that?
cut him up.
First hole I dug.
He would have been in the soup.
Mamma mia.
Oh, fuck.
All right, boys.
Petey.
Who said Mo?
What do you got?
Momo.
Hey,
Oh,
one last one for the road. Boom.
Oh, good
Are
stuff.
we wrapping it up?
Yeah, boys. It's
You
that
gotta
time.
wrap it up.
All right.
Do it,
boy.
Petey,
what do you got?
kid.
So yeah, Kev, what do you got, bud? Any shout outs, Kev?
Oh, what do you got, Kev?
Do I have a shout out?
Yeah,
yeah.
it's your time. This is your time.
My time. Well, we will be away for the next week. We won't see you guys until next Monday. Somebody is going wabbit hunting or deer hunting. It'll be deer hunting. We will be away, but Petey's going to put up 2 quality videos while we're gone. And when we come back on that Monday, we have the Firestore helmet giveaway show. So make sure you tune in if you want a Carnes helmet like this that we will be shipping to you. Find out how to get all the details. It's going to be a show on the history of helmets, and we're going to have all the helmet expert come in. And it is our first female on the show. So any of you
Come on now.
Any of you jackals get out of control. Pete kicking you from the room. Behave.
I'm gonna change up the flow in this freaking sausage fest over here.
Yeah, and she's actually, what'd you say, 3rd generation firefighter too?
She is, yes.
Yeah. So it'll be an
Nice.
interesting show. We'll find out all about helmets, and for you guys, all you care about is the free shit. We know. So it's a free helmet giveaway. Get in on it. And what do you got, Ruff?
So that Thursday, so that would be, I believe that's the 29th. We're going to have Ray Strong on, 111 guy, Rescue 4. We've talked about him a few times, so he's finally going to come on. I've also talked to Bobby Pressler. He's going to be a guest fairly soon. Jerry Murtha from Rescue 3. And Chief Jerry Tracy is also going to be a guest. I spoke to him the other day.
That'll be a funny show.
So we
And
got a lot of-
just so you know, Ray Strong is every bit of his name, bro. He probably won't fit in the screen because he's just huge.
And he won't disappoint.
He will not disappoint. But he's a sweetheart.
I certainly will not call him a jack-off. You can bet your hands on that.
I gotta give a shout out to Father Mo Crone.
Give as many as you want.
He's texting me right now. He was the chaplain on the fire department.
Very good. Very good.
Outstanding guy.
How you
What's
doing,
his name?
Father?
And a good priest.
Hey, Father,
make sure you
Trovidan.
share. Make sure you share, subscribe. Give me a little
Only the
share.
good half.
Only the
As
good
you
half.
do one of these, as you do one
A
of
nomine
these,
Patri, the
subscribe
Spiritu Santi.
Hey, don't screw with the Padre.
Don't screw with the
No.
Padre. You're good.
button.
Come
I'm
on,
going in
man.
that motion
Come
anyway.
on,
Right? So
man.
hit the subscribe button. Someone go boop.
Yeah, pray
I
for
had a
us.
ball, guys. It was great. It
All
was
right.
fun.
Beautiful.
Great show. Love
So,
it.
gents-
Love the terminology.
I want to tell everybody first, before I say anything else, like, subscribe, and share. Take out your little digit, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. You guys don't understand how much it helps us. It helps us. It helps YouTube find us, the algorithm, the algo, as we call it in the business. So like, subscribe, and share. But first and foremost, if you're listening to this podcast, wherever fine audio podcasts are found, iTunes, iHeart, wherever. You should also be tuning into youtube.com/Gettin Salty Experience and liking, subscribing, and sharing and watching all of the content that we have to offer, not just this podcast. Also, head on over to Instagram.com, guys, where you guys can find us at Salty Dog Inc., where Mr. Refrano spends his wee early hours in the morning putting up the hottest fire photos in the biz and letting you guys know all the last minute info. And of course, guys, head on over to gettinsaltyapparel.com, where you can find shirts and mugs and glasses and shot glasses and cigar cutters and humidors, blankets, and anything you guys need that's Firehouse related. All right. So that's what you guys got to do. Head on over to gettinsaltyapparel.com if you want to support the show. And last but not least, guys, you got a question. You want to give us a location for the road show, which we do have coming up this coming November. Guys, head on over to gettinsaltyexperience@gmail.com. Email us, and we will try to get back to you ASAP. And ladies and gentlemen, that is all. Thanks for joining.
Great show, guys. I tell you what, I had a ball. It was nice. If I ever get to New York, I'll look you up.
Absolutely.
Please do.
We'll come up to you on the road show. We got the road show coming up, and we're taking.
Come to Chicago. Give me a call.
You don't got to ask us twice. You don't got to ask us twice.
As long as we don't have to have any of that deep dish pizza or anything like that, because
we don't have deep dish. We got tin.
Tin.
Okay.
I like it, tin.
We got good pizza here.
All right.
Well,
good.
Our first road show's going up to Maine. And then maybe we'll think about the second one coming out to Chicago. What do you think?
We'll set you up. We'll get you set up.
I like it.
All right, cool.
Sounds good.
All right,
boys.
Chief, hang in there with us. Chief, hang in there with us. We'll talk to you in a sec there.
You got it.
All right, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, stay low and go.
All right, Chief, we had a great time. Thank you for everything.
All right, Lou. Thanks, brother.
All right, we'll see you at the big one, boys.